These are my children.
The babies.
These are babies.
But that's so cool.
We had to quickly win them last year per drought pipe. Ndangosvika paprezi ndikaona vana mai vacho vakaona ndikati no, I am taking this one.
No, you did
ndikatoloda mumota ndikasvika kuno kuneni. They were small. Five.
Oh.
They were very small.
Join me for a very interesting conversation with Heather Nyamazana, a young Zimbabwean, and her husband who've chosen to take up farming in Zimbabwe. The young couple has lived and worked in the diaspora, but they still see the potential in taking up farming in Zimbabwe. Let's listen in.
So this is the lucerne that we've just seen before it's dried.
This is before it's dried. So this is the takakata. Kundokumera kwairi kuita.
Oh, yakatochekwa, it grows back. Okay.
Zimbabwe iri kutapira.
Listen, we'll sit down and then we can talk about how you got motivated to start this and where it's taking you and where you think you will. What's your aim? Where you want to go?
Where we want to go.
I'm with my Mningina here, my young sister here, who is going to tell us. I said I want you to walk me through your story of being here and what she's doing. They are building on this one side, but there's farming going on. So Heather, tell us, talk to the young Zimbabweans who are out there. Because the message that we are trying to tell you all is that don't miss the opportunity to get the wealth of this land here. Whether you decide to make roots anywhere else, but the opportunity that you have to build wealth, generational wealth, from the soil that raised you is there, right? So tell us.
The first thing was the panic when I was studying public health and we started talking about aging, and then you start looking at the statistics. We started with the US, how the mental health issues start popping up in aging, and the lack thereof of health coverage, and a whole lot of those issues when you are aging. Then I say to myself, so do I want to be in this system when I age? That's when the whole thing started. Unfortunately, my husband was also with me. He was like, yeah, we don't want to age you. So we have been, since 2016, we have been doing things that will help us to come here. We started by looking for land.
Yeah. A story on its own. Yeah.
We looked for land and looked for land.
Yeah.
But when you are looking, eventually you get something.
And the point is, utaka. And my tracking, good. Because here's another thing that we all do, and we did it too at some point. Can you look for homes for me in this area? Can you always asking someone to do without actively participating yourself? When one does that, then you feel like things are not happening. But if you put an active effort into looking into what you want, it happens.
I looked, and we looked, and then in looking, then our neighbor, my mom's neighbor in Kadoma, ndobva angonzwa ndanzwa muchitaura nezveland. Koma akadii kutaura kuti munoda land? Nai maita nadzo. Kuti aigoziva kuti tingabvunza imi kuti land, tukati okay, let me make a few phone calls. You are serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Paya takutoratidzwa land. Kune vanhu vangu vakatora land havachaidi. They are willing to forward it to the next person.
Yes.
That's where we started. And then we got a small, teeny tiny piece of land. Tichiwana iyoyo, the people who did my papers for us, tichitaura tikati tachidai dokuta mombe but ndo yatawana we make do with whatever
We
gotten.
found, yeah.
That's 7 hectares.
Yeah.
Takungosvikanzi mati munoita mombe. Okay, here is my number, here is my WhatsApp. Oh, message you guys. Tatogara neka 7 kaya ka 7 hectares tikatovaka kanenge katumba kedu ipapo tikatoclear land tikadini. Then a WhatsApp message comes in. So we got you 100 hectares. Are you interested? Did you say interested?
We want to do it.
We want to do it.
Yes. Yes.
Prior to 100 hectares. My paper. And then we had to get rid of the small one.
Yeah.
We took
the bigger one.
Though in education, yes, pa YouTube. I have a PhD in agriculture from YouTube. YouTube, our way into agriculture.
But the YouTube way is because you have to be participating in it. It's not only theory. You have to do it.
You have to do it. So we started trying what we learned on YouTube. Some of it does not work. Some work. Nemombe.
Yeah.
So we started nema layers. Takatanga nehuku. Yeah, we know, you know the YouTube stuff. We take on 250,000. So takabataroverera 6,000. Yeah, we learned the hard way.
Yes.
Takakandira. Tikatoita profit.
Yes.
Takutotsvaga safe paya. Takutsvaga safe ekuisa mari. Ndiko dzakangoreduce. Unoti uchakaunza nengi upi ukabvunzane ukadi.
And they stopped.
Asi dzakaramba chikandira. Padzangokandira enough yekuti utenge feed. Ndopazva zvakanaka watengako feed. Maybe wasana $10. But it's because hatina kutora time yekudzidza. Takada kubva tangoti since tine madegree epa YouTube.
Overnight. But it also teaches you that there are so many things that happen in agriculture, in farming, that you might anticipate a bumper harvest. And nature is a way of teaching you that and then you have to slow down and figure out what has happened.
So but matanga tina huku dzakatisiya tine infrastructure.
So you can do it
matanga anopinda huku 6,000. So right now I'm looking for a contract then with the broiler. So I'm starting with looking for market. Then and also those ways of which we have a few promises.
So the infrastructure is there, it doesn't go anywhere. You can still utilize it.
Mvura takamanya tikadrilla boho riripo hakuna kwanoenda. We fenced and did everything. Then security and everything. Everything is there. Tikuita zvedu mbudzi nemombe dzedu takarelaxa tichanyanisi speed. Speed.
You know, one of these days when the Creator allows it, I would like to see the farm.
Yes.
I would like to see the goats and the cows. By the way, I went for goat training, so I can kind of work there. I can use my skills.
Did I tell you how fast the goats are?
Maya.
Don't makavata pamvura. Mbudzi dzadzokera umba.
All right. No, this is really good. Cool. So we're talking of 2016 and we're 2025. That's a 9-year journey. And here's another thing. You are still there. You are doing the back and forth. You're looking for land. You're coming to check. You're growing your stock. You are building like we are doing. And this is all happening in the course of the time that you are out there. Amuna kumirira kuti pamune makuda kudzoka machembera.
izvine zvaandina ndakutonetswa nevanhu vakundibvunza makawane payment asi muri vakazodii muri politics
zvikazodai but you call
tungori vanhu vakatobetserwa naneighbor kuti zvisina kana tsotsi kana chini
legitimate land ownership.
Handina kana munhu ane position anondiziva kana wandoziva hakana one kana neighbor wedu wagogo just an ordinary person just an ordinary person aingozivawo and akatoenda akataura kuti we have someone from Diaspora who wants to invest. Anogona kunge anoita kumari twake twekuti zvekuti community inodevelop employment creation. Those are the terminology that they were talking about. Employment creation. Okay, yeah.
Because you are not there right now foodering the mombe. Someone is doing it and they are employed. And mbudzi nemombe zviri kutokura. Yes. I know 2 weeks ago I heard someone from the farm telling you had 7 babies. What are they called? Calves?
Kids.
No, kids. Kids. And now you're saying they're 27.
27.
Yeah.
So there's been 20 more since
that time. Amazing. You know, I think tinoda kubata ipapo mazimba tibatsirane. It's not about political affiliation. It's not about to buy somebody else. That's not necessarily true. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but there are a lot of people who are doing things the right way, the legitimate way, without using their political muscle because of simply loving this country. There is no place without problems. Right now, the US you know, we can talk about all sorts of places everywhere where there is political turmoil, and of course there is always what do they call it in the US where people buy the politicians? What do they call it? Lobbying happens. You know, people lobby to get their way through politicians. It's everywhere. But they found their land. They found people who knew someone who had land and whatever, and they got their land the legitimate way without using some politicians, right?
No.
So they are here.
So if you find someone who is open to saying, you know what, I have this land, I am not going to use it. I'm not going to use it. So if you want it, the two of you will go to Ministry of Lands.
Yes.
Go sit down, tell them, and then they will switch over.
It's ownership.
If you are going to thank the person that's got nothing to do with the lands,
that's you.
That's you and the person. And there are people out there who are saying, I've had this land for 10 years, I've not done anything on it. So if you want to take it and use it, please go ahead and take it. That's
but
what.
The better way is to make sure that you are now the owner of that piece of land in the meantime through going to lands to get it zvoiswa pamapepa and formalized and make sure that you have the permission to be on that land, right? So I'm always inspired. Don't mind the noise. I'm sorry. I apologize. There's people that are working. In the meantime, we're talking about the farming part of it, right? I personally would have loved to have been in her position had I done this earlier on. I'm going to be honest. When I was in the diaspora, to be honest, the news that we were all pitching our ears for most of the time, what else is happening over there? The focus was never on what else good is happening in that land. What good can I get out of that land? most of us were just focused on what is the disaster happening. In the meantime, I could have, because I do love using my hands. I love spending time in the garden, small scale, but I've enjoyed, I was telling you, I can work for a farm, kuma goats. I enjoyed that time when I was doing that training. I think it's something in my younger time I would have loved doing. So I'm saying, if I see that I missed an opportunity, I hope that our stories that we're sharing are encouraging someone who's younger to say, the younger I am, the better opportunity I have to do something, right? So we are trying to encourage you guys not to miss an opportunity in this country. There is always going to be something wrong somewhere. We cannot lie to each other that things are going to be smooth. Right now, I know people are on the edge, in the so-called developed countries because of what's happening. Am I saying it's a good thing? No. It would be nice if, the level field is leveled. But in the meantime, you find your space, you find your spot. And you don't need 200 hectares to start, right? Mm-hmm. This is what, 2.5 acres?
2.5 acres.
2.5 acres. And there's luseni yekudyara mombe madomas, for their consumption. Onion, chi. She's already working hard. But I can also tell you that in the graduate, but she's seeing the opportunity that agriculture, that farming has, that this land has, the opportunity for the young, so that the generational wealth can be passed on. Munofa knows their story angairi panapa munomnyika. Ndosaka vamwe vachena ava vapambe pfuma vakanga vari mumapurazi because vaiziva kuti ndo nhaka yavachasiyira vana vavo. Isusu hatisi kuda kukwanisa kuziva kuti basa remaoko mumapurazi imomo ndo muchabva upfumi hwatinopa kuvana vedu. And there are so many avenues to exploit in this country. Not everybody is going to be a farmer. Not everybody is going to do mining. Not everybody is trained to be a doctor. Not everybody is a teacher or a nurse. We need people who take care of our farms, right? We need people who take care of our kids in school. So the opportunities are there. You just have to put your focus on which area do I want, and am I going to put the hard work? She's here. But vatori pabasa issues vanenge vachishanda. Online work is making it more advantageous to the younger people so that you can live your life. Usina kumanikidzwa ndizvo?
Unopinda muZoom meeting na 5 p.m. kuseni unonga uchisakura muriwo wako. Fuma uchisakura.
Wapedza kusakura wakutoenda mumusangano wekubasa.
Geza wapfeka suti wapinda muZoom meeting wotoshanda wotocontribute wotoita zvaunofanira kuita wotoleader some of the meetings ndichitochair to make sure kuti handihumani kana ndasvika.
This is so encouraging. I'm so grateful that my young sister here has allowed me to come in. I'm hoping we can have a farm visit.
Oh yeah.
So we can share the actual. We see in Mbudzi, it's pano shoma dzatichadya isusu. Netu muru twakachengetwa panapa. This year we've been gifted by the creator. There has been enough water, so the livestock is going to have a little more than what they did the last year or the previous years. I'm wishing you all the success. I'm rooting for you. Kana makucheka luseni munongondaidza ndongoyandobatsira basa.
Ndakambopakotama hapasi pekutamba.
Apakotamike.
Nangobva pano kusvika popo tsvaga zvimwe zvokuita. takushandisa mushini
All right.
inenge grass cutter here.
Yes,
It
yes,
works.
yes. Oh, it works the
Thanks
same
to
way.
YouTube, ndakazviona paYouTube kati I have this thing.
Why am I working hard?
So
Yeah.
unotanga
Yeah,
mutonhonga moende
yeah.
munoisa uko.
Yeah. So what would you tell someone who has gone to the... By the way, we're not saying don't go outside. We are not saying don't explore other continents to see what other places have. Go out there, see, learn, and come and implement it. So what would you tell another young person who's out there saying, inine Africa, in the especially Zimbabwe, akuiki andiendi? What would you tell them?
I think it's more like in the repeat as a matter. There is always going to be politics.
Yes.
There's always going to be politics. There is always going to be natural disasters. There is always going to be terrible things happening in any piece of land or in any country on this earth.
Yes.
But here in Zimbabwe, it's home.
It is home.
That's number one. It is home. There is that feeling that you feel kana uri kuno. To my pains and aches.
Tunoenda.
Twangu tunotanga ndichingosvika panenge pa-airport, pa-Pearson airport kuToronto. Ndotanga kutonzwa nenge pasi petsoka kuti nyuru. Unototanga kutongonzwa kuti zvasiyana. But kana ndiri kunoko I can go. I have knee problem. Kana ndiri kunoko. Maybe kana ndatominyuka ndichifamba. Kana kuti ndafamba long distance. Otherwise I totally forget about it. Ungonoti ungonosvika kudai kuita oita se unonzi zvinenge zvakakumirira pa-airport kuti uchingodzoka zvobva zvadzosera nenge.
So is it something worthwhile saying if you can, or if you'd like to, if your desire is to get back on the continent, to get back into the motherland, it is something that is doable?
It is something that is doable. Ipo area yedu ino pane vanhu vakawanda vakadzoka vari kurarama simple life muno muarea medu munoto tinotozivana kuti vepapa vakabva kuUK, vepapa vakabva ku.
So we are coming back home.
Oh yeah.
We see the opportunities, we also see the peace of mind. You know, those are some of the things that you don't feel. Kamepo ka fresh kari pano ka. You can't explain that. I can't put it into the video for you to feel it. But we are here and we feel it. It's really nice. It's really nice.
Nemukaka uri fresh.
Fresh meals from the cows and
Usinobva
goats.
muchigubhu.
Saka munotokama.
Nemuriwo
fresh.
muriwo
Everything.
ukangofunga ndekuda kubika sadza remasikati kungo macha wakananga
Macha wakaenda mukati.
isa dovi rako.
Yeah. So, guys, the stories that I'm sharing, I wish I could reverse time and had the. I knew I wanted to come home, but once I listened to a negative story, it took me another 3 years behind my organizing my mind and my finances to be able to come. And time waits for no man. And by the way, I've been invited to my sister's farm on my birthday. Ndachembera 1 year more. Time waits for no man. But if you have an opportunity to be able to come home and do something, even if it's small, that peace of mind, that relaxation, lack of pressure. I know it, like you're saying, every time I was getting off the plane here in Zimbabwe, my shoulders let loose. The weight here, the minute I get back, the whole body would tense. You know, there's a lot of pressure out there, but there's also opportunities to make money over there, and then you can still be able to, if you'd like. Don't forget to make yourself comfortable wherever you are. Don't overspend. Don't waste it on, trivial things. Invest reasonably there. If your mind is to invest back in Zimbabwe, in Africa, do that. You don't have to do it overnight. the stories that I'm hearing is for people who've been consistent with their dream of coming back home or investing. And by the way, you could still have a life there, but because chino inyika yechizvarwa haurambidzwi kuwana pako katumba kako kaunongoinako. So you could still have that, right? So I hope you enjoy looking at my Mningina's cows and goats, and with the creator's permission, we'll be able to see the bigger farm. In the meantime, I think we'll also show you the house. It's a shell right now. She's working towards renovating the house. Inini pese pano renovate kwa imba nova nangosko mako yangu yandinda uzurara. So I'll keep updating you with my sister here, what they're doing and how they're doing, living and investing in Zimbabwe. Hopefully one of you gets motivated. Don't forget you have the advantage of time if you are young. I've added 1 more year. I've lost if I was someone delaying, either coming back to invest or to just come and holiday for a few months. If you haven't done that, that whole year for me is gone. Right? I hope you take heed. More zoti kana makura musazoti hatina kunge tichikubatsirai. Takungobatsirana because tangozara kwese kwese. So mukutaudzana ikoko we get hereb. Ndizvo kamini.
Hai ndizvo.
Kana pane chimwe chaunoda kuudza hama neshamwari dzedu.
Ndizvo zvatangotaura.
Yeah.
But kungoti it's fun.
It's fun.
I think maybe that's one main part, because vanhu vanofunga kuti maybe unenge uchisafa I remember 2021 ndakasakura nzungu dzangu ndega, but for me it was for workout. Then ndaenda mwiri wanga wakuenda imwe direction, ndikati kwakomana akakamunda kenzungu akasiyana nako. 4:30 ndotora badza rangu ndogosakura nokuti pauno uchisakura apa uchiita workout yako, but at the same time you know that you are going to get something out of it.
Yes.
So it's not suffering. But it's no takangosiyana makuriro vamwe vano associate farming
poverty.
But ndino associate farming nekugara zvakanaka and eating whole foods and organic and abundance.
Mindset.
Mindset. So it's all in the mindset, and stay away from negative. Vanotry kukuudza manje vanotokuudza zviri kuitika kunoko
iwe uri muno.
Ndakaudzwa zvaiitika mutauni musi uya ndikati as far as I'm concerned ndandichatobva kutoudzwa nevamwe mai vanotengesa ikoko customer yangu vachitoti handaedza kunotengesa zvinhu zvangu kutauni, ndatadza kutengesa kuna munhu. Ndikati kunoise kanzi hakuna noise kwakanyarara. Wakunzwa genya ari kudiaspora wanzwa here kuti mubulawa yavanzengani chonzi mavideo tinawo ndikati. So if you stay away from negative stuff, just put your mind to it. But kunotapira
mapotholes ari sei?
Handichatomboaone. Ndinotoanzwa nevamwe. Ndinotopinda ndichibuda mupoto akakana. Mapoto kana utozora ndichizve. Inda kutofunga more about responsibility, not vanhu vatakavakidzana navo kunoko.
Yes.
Vanozvinamira vega mapoto. Saka zvinota kuti kasection kako ikako
une
responsibility kuna mapoto. Takuzvinamira tega tinotonama. Vamwe vari kunoku vari kuto bvisa road votoisa tara.
Votoisa nyowani.
Vari kuisa, eh.
We did that for our street. Yeah, the community, we banded together. We tarred our street. Yeah. And you know, we're not gonna go into the other discussions. We're talking of how we are making our lives easier for us. And it will bring another whole section of discussion. That's not what we are doing here. We are saying we're here in the meantime, and we gotta leave. We gotta make a living.
And we want to live here.
And hatina kwatiri kuenda.
Chisiya mvuri wemujakaranda.
Hapana kwatiri kuenda. Thank you for having me. I will continue to have more conversations. If you're out there, young person or magogos like us, and you have a story to share, reach out to me. We'll have a chat so that we build a community of like-minded people, and we emphasize on the benefits that we have for being in the motherland. In the meantime, chambogara pamvuri wemujakaranda.
Join me the next time. We'll take a drive and visit the Nyamazana farm, where we are going to see what this young couple is doing. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, share, and comment. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and bye for now.